I gotta moisturize my hands,
Yeah, those dumb shits are looking mighty dry, Derek.
Wait,
You got
we
dude.
some
got to
dry ass
do
hands.
a
It's looking
song to keep
rough.
with consistency.
Yeah.
Dry hands. He's got dry hands. You can't jerk off with his dry hands. Is that good? Is that a
Boris has
country
some
song?
dry hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Not me,
Ladies and
Garrett.
gentlemen,
Oh, we started.
welcome to the Bushwick Bears podcast. I'm here. This is Jericho Davidson. We got Boris Hyken and
I would have.
Derek Dry Giant Hands Humphrey over there in the corner.
I would have
Welcome.
objected to that being the intro song had I known.
Well, go with the flow, baby.
Go with the flow. We're here on Zoom right now because we're all in different parts of the country. I'm in St. Louis, hanging out with
I'm in Sonoma, California. Oh yeah, wait. I thought we were gonna say where we are, but it's where we are in the byline. So you go back, talk about St. Louis. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Wait, so we're all giving a byline as to where we're at,
and why?
Oh, okay. We'll go, Boris.
I'm in St. Louis right now because it is the gateway to the West. My friend, the infamous Joshua Ski Bar, has a beautiful house with an air mattress. I said, and I'm gonna like read a book. I got a haircut, trimmed up the beard, trying to get maybe I could get a job in this post-COVID economy.
Read a book.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a book. You guys, I don't know if you know this. I can read, guys. Kind of.
Who knew?
Well, you must have read some of your tattoos at least. So,
well,
Boris, where are you at? Oh, sorry. I don't know.
No, I was gonna say most of my.
I thought we were all doing
pictures.
like a thing where it's like, "Hey, I'm here. This is why I'm here." Next guy, and then the next guy says something.
You know what?
Okay, let's do it.
No. I didn't know it was gonna. We're gonna like. I didn't know we were just gonna jump to that part.
Good Lord. This is why we try to avoid doing it over Zoom. But you know what? I should also disclose that we had an episode in the can for this week. It's a good one, and we'll have it for a future week. But I went to Sonoma, California, and I left that episode on a hard drive that's in New York. And I am in Sonoma, California, because our brother and sister-in-law and nephew live here. He's an adorable 7-8-month-old now nephew, and my wife and I both wanted to see him very much. And so yeah, it seemed like it was finally relatively safe to do so. I know everybody's got their own kind of definition, but we weighed the risks, and this is where that was. And
we all know the virus is
Here's a PSA from Boris Hyken.
Well,
for legal reasons, I want everybody to know that I check the conditions of my travel.
I hate that I should have to do that, but we've reached this place where everyone's forgotten that everyone has their own individual comfort levels, and not everyone has to adhere to your comfort levels, and you can analyze your risk for yourselves and make the decisions you need to for you and your family.
I've been licking flagpoles.
that weed in California must be next level.
I didn't even smoke yet, actually. I was going to, no, I didn't even smoke, but I do have some next level weed. I've got literally a garbage bag full of it that I am figuring out if there's some way I could get it. But yeah, I'm in Sonoma. I'm in a house, but my brother-in-law manages actually like even more, like 100-something acres, I think, up in the mountains of Sonoma. Their neighbors got vineyards. They got fields with things that I won't go into specifics of because there are legal gray areas. What am I talking about? I already mentioned weed, but you know.
It's a ketamine farm.
A ketamine farm. I love it.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of place. Woo!
Where does ketamine come from?
It's definitely less woo and more.
Wasn't Neil Brennan was talking about taking ketamine and it made him a better person?
That's what he says, but
yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Before the ketamine.
I saw that picture with him and that Indian girl, Jamila Hill, or whatever her name is, Jamila Jamil.
Oh, getting.
It looked corny as shit. Yeah, it looked corny as shit. I think it made him worse. Just kidding. I don't know.
Derek, what about you? Where are you at? What's going on?
Oh, I'm in Queens.
Is it your house?
And why?
I'm sorry, I
Explain
don't.
why.
Yeah, I'm here because I have a job and I can't leave. I was at my house all day. Fucking sucks. I would love to be in Sonoma or even St. Louis. Actually, maybe not St. Louis.
Well, if it
But
makes you feel better, I have been working out here, and because of the 3 hour difference, I've had to. You know what? It's actually kind of nice because New York, like normally, I'll be working like around 10, and we come over here, and that's 7 a.m. here, and my brother and sister-in-law get up insanely early. Like brother-in-law gets up at like 4 a.m., maybe a little earlier than that, and like goes and manages these properties on the mountain and takes care of their, newborn child. So basically, with a 3 hour difference, I'm on the same schedule they are, just keeping to New York time because they get up so fucking early.
That's cool. What's up with the fire situation?
Yeah, so
I hate Zoom. I hate Zoom so much.
all
Sorry.
right. Well, let's
I gotta
just do it. Let's just do it because it's definitely not going to be good if we just talk about how much it sucks the whole time.
No, it totally does because we're not being funny at all. None of us. We're all just being
Stop! I
idiots.
literally just said stop doing that.
I
We
know,
just
but
started, Derek.
There
You
have been
fucking
funny moments.
Rumpelstiltskin over here. God
There
damn
It's
it,
not
funny.
Derek. I've already laughed once.
exactly.
There have been funny moments. All right.
I'm
Let
a
me just.
cynical motherfucker.
I know, but we're
too.
like, God damn, we sound like we're fucking Sunday morning PBS.
Listen, we'll keep it going, okay? Maybe it won't be the best episode. It won't be the worst episode either.
Well,
Right?
see, that's the whole thing. Don't go into it being like, well, just won't be a good one. We can still make it work somehow, but if it's like,
That's what I'm saying.
If it's not gonna be good, we shouldn't do it though. You shouldn't have the expectation of like, this is just gonna suck.
We're doing it exactly. So let's stop
God damn it,
being all
Derek.
meta about it. Listen,
You
there's like a
fucking
million.
Rumpelstiltskin.
There's a million podcasts that are still doing it this way. Look, if like
Those suck. Those podcasts.
no, I've seen good ones. Listen, if freaking I don't know, Sam Harris or whoever can do their podcast.
Exactly. Who listens to Sam
You know
Harris
what's
for the
fucking-
comedy?
I listen to Sam Harris.
We can't. You know who sucks?
Derek.
Jordan Peterson. Not that funny. No shit.
Fucking Derek. It was so funny. I was watching Colbert last night, and Lawrence Fishburne was on there, and it was like Zoom, but Lawrence Fishburne's internet connection kept going out. I was dying. I was like, dude, I'm watching CBS, and this motherfucker's got weak ass internet.
Exactly.
And he's
Fucking
Morpheus.
sucks, dude.
Morpheus got a bad internet.
You see him doing
connection.
like this thing, like. Come on.
He is the fucking internet.
Yeah. Well,
I know
look,
exactly.
To answer your question, the fires were not great up until literally like right when we got here. We like brought the nice weather with us. If they have a rating system of 0 to 50 means that the air quality is pretty good. 50 to 100 means like it means like light, like you're basically fine. And then 100 to 150 means that if you have some sort of pre-existing lung conditions, you should limit your time outside. But if you don't, you're basically fine. And then over 150 is like avoid being outside. So it was below 50 when we got here. And then it got a little worse.
Okay.
And you know what? I smelled it last night. And it smelled like smoked Gouda. I don't know why everyone's complaining. It's delicious. It's
It sounds
now,
delicious.
I love the
a nice
smell of
smoked
firewood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good when it's too much of it. They were saying like sometimes you can like just straight see the ash in the air, But if it's not that bad, it's nature, it's nature burning, and nature burning smells pretty good.
It does. The smell of destruction is delicious.
I went for the first time in my life. I went to a farmer's market. It wasn't too bad. I can get behind that,
For the first time in your life, you've never
been to a farmer's market before?
You live in
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Well, yeah,
Fucking,
he's
I've
single.
never been to. There's farmers markets in Brooklyn. They're usually Saturday morning. I work Friday night until 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. At least
Right,
I
that's
used to.
true. They are
Yeah,
early. They're
yeah.
not on Jericho hour.
Jericho does
So-
get beans and rice for breakfast from the
Dude,
bodega.
I lots of yoga pants, and
Yeah,
it made me think of it. The goat cheese, the Gouda, the smoked Gouda.
Gouda's
The goat,
delicious.
the goat cheese lady is really cute. We bought some fucking goat cheese just because she was cute.
She got you. She got you.
Yeah.
Some
She's a
fucking
cute dog
patriarchy.
too.
They're stealing your
Hippie,
money.
some
Well, not
hippie.
stealing it, but selling you
Hey,
overpriced goat
it was a
cheese.
fair trade of goods and services for money. Okay, I can get behind that.
But that money was spent on like 30% goat cheese, 70% staring at ass.
That's fair. I've literally spent more money to stare at less ass. So
And you didn't even get any goat cheese. You know,
goddamn shenanigans.
the strip club should start serving goat cheese.
I do love good goat cheese. So yeah, if Shenanigans in Albany, New York started serving goat cheese instead of chips and salsa for $8, thank you very much, Cuomo.
Good
I think in
Lord.
Wisconsin they get you. Some of the clubs have cheese curds,
Oh,
Ooh,
I'm
fried cheese curds.
not a
Oh, I
huge.
could
I
do
love a
it.
fried cheese curd. Oh, absolutely.
Oh
Are
yeah,
cheese
for
curds
sure.
the ones that are like they have the texture of like packing peanuts?
No,
No,
I'm thinking of
more
something
fried
else. Maybe.
mozzarella. It's more fried mozzarella stick.
No, that sounds
Yeah.
good. But I've had like cheese curds in like North Carolina or something. I think she was already mad about something, but my friend's wife got really
No.
mad because I insulted their cheese.
You gotta have like Wisconsin cheese curds, like not like it's that level. That's why they have it in Wisconsin, like at these certain spots.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
love
like a
most
different
things cheese.
I love it. It's just like
curds.
all this farmers market really is like a fair. It's like a carnival for like white people with dreadlocks. That's what it was. It's like everyone's wearing yoga pants and like
and clove cigarettes.
it's like it's like and fucking organic soap and shit. But like
That sounds about right because organic soap doesn't work.
there is some you know what the worst thing ever is like natural deodorant. That's fucking pointless.
Portlandia had a great sketch about that. It's so fucking true, man. It's like
the only kind of deodorant that works is that kind that gives you fucking cancer. You know? So it's like you just take it. You're like, am I gonna smell bad my whole life or am I gonna get cancer? I'm probably gonna get cancer anyway. At least I smell fucking fresh cut pine.
I stopped wearing deodorant like 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I noticed.
Yeah, we noticed. Yeah.
Come on, you did. You know what? My brother gives me shit all the time, but I think he like is. I don't know. Either he has an extra scent because we're related, but like nobody else really says anything. And my brother like actively, like, you smell like shit, bro.
Everybody's too polite. Your brother doesn't worry about that.
That's what he says. But you know what? No, but really, have you guys smelled me? We've sat next to each other in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to lunch. We were shooting the sketch over in Long Island City.
You smelled me?
Yeah, at first I thought it was just the street.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. I need you to be honest right now because honestly, my brother is gonna fucking relish this, that asshole. I can't lie to him, but nobody else has said anything, and my wife hasn't said anything.
Yeah, so everybody's too polite.
I mean, my wife said something in a few times, but like only during like specific moments. Truly, you guys have smelled me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it! You're saying I should start wearing deodorant?
I mean, like,
I mean that's a personal
natural
preference.
one. Like, at least put like rub rosemary under your armpits or something. Like
No, you know what you need?
Oh my god! I can't believe this is an intervention now.
It's not really.
Crystals. You need those crystals, Boris. Like you just rub the right crystal on your armpit.
The suppository crystals, where I shove one in my ass and my pit stops smelling.
Yeah, if you put the right fucking rose quartz crystal in your ass, your armpits don't smell anymore. Hey, that's Rod. That's my friend. I told you he was in a commercial with Belichick.
You guys just burst like a 6-year bubble for me. I thought I was getting away with not. And because honestly, I had a summer where I did start smelling, and I noticed it on myself, and I changed my diet, and I thought it got rid of it. And then my brother said something, but no, I mean, you guys, that's 3 data points, and I have to be honest with myself, and maybe I do. My brother wasn't enough because he's aggressive.
I like how you
know?
put it as data points.
your brother's not your brother's not enough because your brother's an asshole, and not your brother. All brothers,
Right.
assholes.
Well, one person's an anecdote, but 3
Yeah.
people, there's a statistic there. There's a
Well,
bit of a
how
stat.
about this? How about this? It's never offended me, but I did notice it. It wasn't offensive, but I noticed it.
Did you like it a little bit?
No, it didn't. It didn't make my dick move. No.
Did Derek just gag?
Yeah, I'm real sensitive over this body stuff, man. I do not enjoy it.
One of my roommates is a kind of a hippie-ish dude and likes all that hippie shit. Fuck, man. We used to work together. Years ago, we worked together, and that boy fucking stunk.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, brother, like, I'm all about you live your best life, but
Guys, this is a big moment for me. Honestly, like, this is the point where I might start wearing deodorant again. That's like,
In fact, if
it's a
anything,
big
at the
moment.
point I'm at in my life, I'm gonna invest more money into my healthcare. I'm thinking about getting a nicer shampoo other than
ooh,
Suave,
damn.
like one that smells
is a
like
big
fruit,
step.
like girls use and stuff.
You get some herbal essence or some shit like that?
No, even nicer, like
Ooh,
just
nicer?
No.
yeah.
You're talking like John Frieda. I know what that is for anybody.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know yet for sure. I haven't picked it out yet, but I think that's what I'm gonna go for as far as shampoo goes.
I had a girlfriend, and she like had fancy shampoo and conditioner like from the salon, and she'd get pissed if I used it, but that's like the only time I'd ever washed my hair was when I was at her house.
Yeah,
The
sometimes
shit
I'll
was
use
so
Jess's
fancy.
shampoo. Yeah, and I think it probably works a little bit better.
I
She was
still
like,
have
It dries my shit out.
I still have shampoo. Oh, this might be a fun story actually, but I still have the shampoo that I got when I was briefly getting Hims. I got like the whole package with the like
oh,
pills and the
like for the
shampoo.
hair growth?
Is
Yeah,
that
but I
like
have
the monthly butcher in a box sort of clothing thing?
no.
No, it's
What?
like
What's Hims?
It's for your
Where they send
hair.
you like
You
where they
wouldn't
send you like
know.
a thing a month?
Yeah. Quit bragging
Yeah,
about how you
like
don't know
Blue
what Hims
Apron.
is. You golden locked motherfucker.
I don't know. I
Hims.
don't know what Hims is. I
It's
don't fall prey to those.
it's basically Propecia except off brand. They like no longer had
off-brand
the
Propecia.
and you
Oh,
basically
you're right.
take a
I've never heard
photo.
of it.
Yeah. You take a photo of your baldingness, and then they have a doctor that like looks at it and prescribes it to you through the app, and then they send it to you, and it's cheaper than Propecia. But anyway, long story short, it made my balls hurt. I didn't even connect the dots because I'd been taking it for like a month and a half probably, and then all of a sudden my balls started hurting, and I didn't even connect it. I thought I got like a hernia or something. So I went to the doctor, and he like felt, and he was like, "No, I don't think you have a hernia. Have you been taking any new medications?" And I was like, "Oh, as a matter of fact, I've been taking this pill for my hair." And he was like, "Yeah, that's what it is, and you're an idiot. Don't take any medications over an app. That shit is like not based in America. The doctors are not liable because they're in like Canada or whatever if you get hurt."
Yeah,
And he's like, if you're ever
free
trying to have
market.
kids, yeah, and he's like, if you're ever trying to have kids, don't be taking shit that fucks with your hormones like that. And I stopped taking it, and surprise, surprise, my balls stopped hurting. So it was definitely Hims.
I think
Well,
we found
there
the
goes our
underlying
Hims.
cause.
Our
Yeah.
Hims sponsorship gone
Yeah,
out the fucking
good.
window.
No, you know what it is?
Good. My hair's too good for it, anyways.
It's going to be a reverse Hims sponsorship where I'm going to keep telling people my balls hurt from it until they pay us money. It's not a sponsorship. Can we be the first
Right.
podcast that makes money from extortion instead of getting sponsors? We talk shit about products until they pay us money to stop.
You're like, my hair, I'm still bald and my balls hurt.
Yeah.
Once I get to like Trump level baldness, when I'm in my 60s or whatever, I'm just gonna shave it all. Like, I don't understand. Like, at that point, who cares?
It depends on your head shape,
I used to shave my head when I was younger. Jess gets mad whenever I cut my hair short.
I can't shave my head because I look too much like a fucking Aryan Brotherhood with the head shaved.
Right. Yeah.
People always
The
think I'm
longer
a
hair.
fucking Nazi or something.
Yeah, I
Thank
noticed
you.
I've been able to get away with certain jokes because my hair is longer. It doesn't look like I'm an undercover cop anymore, or
Yeah,
like
Right?
a drill instructor. Um,
You got these
that's
flowing
true.
locks, you know?
A cop can't walk around like a fucking golden doodle. They got to get their hair cut.
yeah, dude, I got
I
bad
went to,
notes. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, I got bad notes today in a class, and I've been like pissed off about it all day.
Was it like an
And
acting class?
yeah, and because like I had to improv copy, and it was very funny. But they're just like, you're just real funny. You're not really, you don't seem like you really want to sell the product. And I'm like, yeah, I guess I don't give a fuck about the product, really. I'm just here to be funny. And I'm like, oh shit, man, I just wasted money on this class.
I like how your bad notes class experience is really just a humble brag about how funny you are.
No, sorry.
I
Yeah.
got bad notes because I'm too good of a comedian.
I am so fucking funny.
No,
I'm
you know
so
why? Oh,
bad.
sorry. I'll reframe that. You're right. I should have been more specific. I'll be honest about that because they kept telling me they're like, you need to smile more. You just don't like, it's like
Wow,
you're
they
not. Yeah,
cat
yeah, yeah.
called you. They cat called you in class for you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
inappropriate.
yeah. And
Unless you're
so,
from a specific culture, you cannot give notes like that.
right. Well, the culture is like be willing to be fake as shit for money. And I just wasn't in a mood to be fake as shit today. And
That's what that's what
so
that's
I
what being
just
an actor is all about, you know.
I know. It's just, well, I guess I just didn't get good enough sleep last night. But anyways,
No,
it really,
Jericho. An actor has to be real on command. Don't
apparently not that
disrespect the
funny.
craft.
Apparently not that funny either. So I'm the only stand up in the class. Everybody else is like, I went to Brown or Tish or
That's
something. Which
kind
I mean,
of
God
what
bless
does
them,
that
good on them.
what does that say about Brown and Tish that they're in the same class with you?
I know. I said GED. I said when I was pursuing my GED, I wasn't allowed to take drama. I had to take shop instead. Public school failed me. How does your privileged white lives go?
Dude, I went to a barber for the first time, like literally at least 10 years, and I got like the full on treatment. It was it was in St. Louis, here
Ooh.
in St. Louis. My friend from Tucson from back in the day has a barbershop out here, and I went. It was it was awesome. Got the whole
With the
Yeah,
hot
treatment, got
towel.
the hot towel, the straight
yeah.
razor. She's
I
got really
love a
long
good
fake
haircut.
nails, so like the head massage with the fucking nails. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. They do
Megan
back. Did
at
they have a
Union
chair massage?
Barbershop in St. Louis. Not exactly, but kind of, yeah.
Do they
Yeah,
give you
good
a
deal.
whiskey?
Yeah, and a beer. Well, we were drinking tequila. I had several and some beers.
And a
Nice.
bump of ketamine from the ketamine farm.
Oh,
The
that's really
natural
funny.
natural farm fresh organic ketamine.
Yeah. You
I
guys
don't
ever
want
answer my
to.
question? Where does ketamine come from?
It's a
It's
tranquilizer. It's a horse
it's a horse
tranquilizer.
tranquilizer,
Oh, that sounds
and it's
fun.
super. I mean, it's definitely manufactured in a. I mean, I'll assume it's manufactured in a lab. It's not an opiate. It's a disassociative. I know that, and
Yeah.
it
I don't know if I
feels.
could do anything that would make me more disassociative with
I've
life.
honestly I've never done ketamine.
I tried it once. My friend. I'm trying to like give as little detail as possible, but my friend was
Sure.
basically like a pretty high up kingpin among the Williamsburg warehouse club scene. And the one time I tried it, I went to this like party that starts at like, I don't know, 1 or 2 in the morning. And there's no alcohol. Nobody's serving alcohol. So they're all playing club music and nobody's holding drinks. And I'm just like, what's going on? Everybody's on like ketamine or Molly, basically. And
That sounds great, actually.
it was
Sorry.
okay. Ketamine's not like, at least for me, I didn't
The
like it.
Molly part sounds
Yeah,
cool. I don't like chemicals, but I would do Molly.
How quickly we change our minds in the middle of one sentence. But it's like it feels like you're like drunk, but worse, like more like confusing and stupid. I had the one experience, but yo, that's a really funny. I don't want to give it away here, but that's a really funny like sketch idea. Is like someone who's a farmer, like real natural, like I'm just here on the farm, but it's like meth or like ketamine, like something that's super not natural and relate, just like
Ketamine
a fake,
Farms sounds
yeah,
awesome.
Right.
like a fake advertisement for something that's like in no way grown in a farm. Speaking of which, I was at a farm yesterday. We visited some like friends of the in-laws who just like a lot of people have farms, so it's just like very loosely speaking, they just had like 5 or 6 pigs, a couple of goats, some dogs that were in there that help like
Yeah.
maintain them all, chickens walking around, just literal free range. I was at in Pennsylvania, I was in BJ's buying eggs, and I was standing there trying to choose between like $3.99 for 2 dozen like plain ass white eggs and the like 4 times as expensive brown eggs, whatever. And this dude who just looks like he came like straight up from a Trump rally, or like camouflage hat, and he's just like, you know what happens when you open up them expensive eggs compared to them cheaper eggs? You know what's in there when you crack them open? I'm like, what? He's like, eggs. It's all fucking eggs, man. And I'm like,
Man,
yeah, but I feel like I could taste the difference. He's like, listen, my cousin's got a farm in Missouri, and them's the real free range eggs. You know what you could taste the difference with those. Those eggs right there, when they're cage free, you know what that means? Means they got a slightly bigger cage that they let
Yeah.
out all the chickens into. That shit don't do shit. He's like, you go to a real farm, you taste the difference. That shit right there that you buy at any one of these stores that says cage free, like, and he talked me into it. He talked me into buying the cheaper eggs.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
the
he's
thing,
got a
though.
point, though.
Well, he's got a point, but the thing is, though, is that it's not the health aspect with the cage free. That's the ethical component. So people just want to feel like the chicken had a good life, not
Right, but if the
necessarily
chicken's
that
life
it's like
still
a
sucks, if it's just
right.
shitting
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
stuck in a
for sure.
slightly
Dude.
bigger
Yeah, it's not a
cage.
free range. It's not like they're shot in the plains.
Yeah,
There's no way you can feed as many fat fucking Americans. I'm
yeah.
speaking as a fat guy.
Well, not just Americans, but poor people. We want to be able to afford shit, and
Americans
this is
are
a
poor
way.
people.
Well, some of them are. I mean, honestly speaking, as like globally, Americans are not poor people. The poorest people in America
No.
are very, very rich compared to the rest of the world on average. But
If you live in North America, you live in the top 1% of income level for
yeah,
the world.
exactly. No matter
Yeah,
where you're at in there, basically.
yeah.
But yeah, also I told him, because he was like, the welfare of the chickens, the welfare of chickens, and I was like, I'll be honest, like I truly don't care about the welfare of chickens. I don't like people suffering needlessly. I don't like animals suffering needlessly. But I've seen chickens. Chickens are fucking stupid as shit. And to me, like a chicken suffering is about as close to my broccoli suffering. I think the IQ difference is like very,
That's how I
very.
feel
So you're
about
like,
fish.
fuck chickens. Fuck
I feel that way
chickens.
about fish. Fish are plants with eyes. To me,
Yeah,
you can't
pretty
even-
much.
It's like that Cobain song. You can't hear him scream. Anyway, so it's
Yeah.
like
There's a David Foster Wallace article about what is it? Oh, the lobster. Consider the lobster. It's a very long, very well written, and really interesting article about lobster. And lobsters are also like even not, I'm gonna say not dumber, because intelligence is like almost not even relevant at that point, but like they have no central nervous system. So it's even like questionable whether they feel pain in the sense that we understand pain. And like, you dump one into the water, like people, I cooked one recently, and that's why I looked it up. I think Justin Perez sent it to me or something, but because they say the humane way is not to just dump it in boiling water, but it actually looks way less humane. I actually filmed it, but then I didn't want to post it because it looks horrible, which is where you take a big knife, you stick it in the back of the head, and then you go forward like that.
and
that's the humane
forward like that.
Yeah, that's the humane way to do it.
Yeah,
and that's what
the
I
quickest.
did.
That's like whenever you see gladiator movies or whatever, they're like, do you want like the quick, you can give them a quick death because that's the most humane way you're going to do it. And
But
really,
they have
honestly,
no.
the most humane way you can do it is just to immediately kill it. There's no like, yeah, I know. There's no like magic potion to sprinkle over the lobster to make them die instantly and pain free.
Right. Well, the thing is why people do that is because normally people cook it alive very often because you want the meat to be as fresh as possible. As soon as the thing dies, it starts releasing toxins into the meat that make it go bad pretty quickly. And so that's why a lot of shellfish people buy live or frozen. But yeah, they say that that's the more humane way, and he makes like an interesting, like really out there existential case for why like our understanding of it isn't enough or whatever. But I'm like, you know what? I don't got all fucking day. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm
Let's kill
hungry.
these lobsters.
Well, it's just if I'm gonna listen, I bet I could write you a bullshit article on why like your carrots feel pain, but I can't read 10 pages before every new food I eat. And so, like eventually I just have to settle for the common wisdom, which is I'm hungry and this tastes good.
Yeah,
Goddamn lobster is delicious.
it
It
is.
is.
I
And it
eat
used to be
steak
poor
every
people
day.
food. Lobsters used to be poor people food. They fed them to
Really?
prisoners.
Yeah, they're the rats of the ocean.
Right.
Yeah,
Pretty much. And yet now the supply
a
and demand has
$16
shifted.
add-on at Peter Luger's.
Wow.
That's it? Only 16 bucks?
Maybe 30. Who knows? You could get like the small portion or the large, sort
Yeah.
of thing. If it's the add-on.
Where'd you go to Peter Luger, dog?
Years ago when I had money.
Motherfuckers humble bragging again.
I know.
No,
Look
I'm
at that. He's
not.
like,
No, the
I'm over
only
here going to Peter Luger's and shit, getting that shrimp as an add-on.
all right. I mean, well, I don't spend any money outside of on food. I spend so much money on food. It's so sad.
I actually went to Peter Luger's for the first time.
Oh, now who's rich?
Yeah, baby. Like one of the earlier days of outdoor dining, actually, we were like, outdoor dining's open again. Felt safe doing it. Judge for yourself. Boo. Uh, it's just you fucking need to explain it for us.
Boo.
I'm just trying to scare the whoever might be listening.
Yeah, libtards. Boo.
No, but we were like, we've been trying like while we both kept our jobs and we're like, stuff is open. We'd like to see these restaurants not go out of business. So we've been trying to go every once in a while and support different restaurants in the area. And so the first like couple times, like, dude, everything was packed. We didn't make a reservation because we really thought people would be uncomfortable or whatever. But no, everything was fucking, you guys have seen it out there in like Williamsburg.
People don't
And shit.
give a
Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
no one gives a fuck.
well, they give a fuck online, but then they act very differently in person. And so,
For sure.
I got a story about that, by the way. But so we went and like everything was sold out, and then we like on an off chance just stopped by. Wait, Peter Luger's is the one in Williamsburg, right?
Yeah.
I'm not okay. Just making
One
sure.
on Broad. It's like on Broadway.
Yeah. So we were like on the off chance, and we show up, and then the guy's like 5-minute wait. We're like, seriously? He's like 5-minute wait, and we had a fucking steak for two at Peter Luger's. I'd never been before, first time going, and it was like, I mean, it was good. It was good, but I will say I've had just as good, maybe better steaks for much cheaper. And you know what? I will plug West Side Steakhouse, my favorite steak in New York. It's like $80 for a fucking big ass steak for two. That's like 100, 120 at all these other places, and it's just as good as any of them.
West Side Steakhouse. I'll have to remember that when
Yeah,
I have
West
a
Side
job
Steakhouse.
again.
Yeah.
Peter Luger is that old school steakhouse experience. Yeah, it's not the best.
It's really not. Smith and Walensky's is probably better.
They got
It's
shit
not
on
the best,
too.
but there is a place for it. Oh, Peter Luger. Peter Luger got shit on pretty recently. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that I actually brought it up. My wife was like, "Don't bring it up," and I went inside to pay, and then the waiter's there, and I'm like, "So, you guys ever talk about that article that came out?" I was just like making small talk, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know what that guy's problem is," and I was like, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, it's like people love it. Obviously, people love it. That guy had some sort of vendetta or something." And this is a waiter there, so it's not like he's got any real interest in like defending the place, or I don't know, maybe his manager was listening.
He was the waiter for that article.
Yeah. Well, he seemed pretty happy there, and I was like, "You guys gonna survive?" And he's like, "Yeah, they like own the building, and they own the building across the street, and like, yeah, they're not
Yeah.
going anywhere. They're not worried
Yeah.
about rent." It kind of made me realize that like once you're successful enough of a business or successful enough in anything, it's just real estate automatic. Like even if you're a restaurant, if you're successful enough, you buy your property, so you don't have to worry about paying rent to somebody. And if you're more successful, you buy the neighbors. But you know what I mean? It's just whatever your business is, if you're successful enough, you just start buying property.
Oh wait, so Peter Luger is a landlord? Let's kill him.
Yeah, Peter Luger's and Hannibal Buress and Bernie Sanders. We're gonna kill them all.
Yeah. um, I've been getting into movies. I watched this movie on Netflix.
Nice shift. I've
I
been getting
like
into
it.
movies lately.
I watched.
I just saw Cuties. I was gonna make a joke about you watching Cuties, and then I see it's in your background.
Doesn't this one look like me a little bit?
That could be your daughter.
Or my son, right? That's that person child has strong man features.
Well, they're jacked ass. She looks like a jacked kid. I mean, if they're dancing a lot, that's physically assertive. You know what? I don't know. You guys haven't seen it, have you?
No.
10 times.
I watched it on loop with my eyes jarred open, Clockwork Orange style.
Well, it's the first. Yeah.
I don't want to play into the outrage. Like it does feel like it's all of a sudden like this weird, like I'm so used to the left being outraged, and now it feels like a weird right-wing outrage about it. And I don't want to just take that outrage as word for it, but I also have no interest in seeing this movie and finding out for myself.
I'm
Why
outraged
is
because
anybody?
I'm
Why is
outraged because
anybody
I didn't.
outraged?
Well, so they're outraged because from what I understand, it's a movie about these like 12-year-olds, I think, somewhere around that age. And some of them come from an oppressive Muslim culture where like both sexuality as well as like female freedom is like, oppressed or whatever. And so as like a counterbalance and as a response, these girls take up dancing, but it's like kind of like sexy
It's
stripper
twerking.
dancing.
They take up 11-year-old twerking is
Yeah,
what it
and
is.
so it's kind of
Yeah.
like on the one hand you're telling this story, and from what I've heard from people, the conclusion is indeed like complicated. They actually are making like a social commentary, but at the same time you're making a social commentary by filming these 11, 12-year-old actors twerking. And again, I don't want to respond without seeing it, but I have no interest in seeing it. And it's kind of like you could have found, adults that look like child actors, maybe. Like, was Harmony
personal
Korine?
favorite.
I'm outraged that I didn't get hard watching it, and they advertised it as pedophilia material, and it did not work. So,
Well, I guess that means maybe you're not a pedophile, Derek, if you can
is
smooth
that
that
how
up.
that works? Oh my god, who fucking knew?
I mean, it's good. At least now there's a movie where you can just watch and find out if you're a pedophile or not.
I know that seems like that's what the litmus test is. It's like if it came up on your Netflix as like previously seen.
Recommended watching.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh man, bring it on, too adult for me. I gotta watch Cuties.
Oh, cuties.
I don't know why I put that
what
it
you're
would just be
talking
funny.
about. I don't know what you're talking about, Derek. This Zoom show has been pretty good.
You
I
almost
agree.
sold me on that.
And honestly, if we're keeping it at 45 minutes, I'm not sure when we started, but we're probably pretty close to it.
We're pretty close.
Yeah,
I got a big old chunk of ahi and some vegetables from the fucking farmer's market. I'm doing it, living that life.
How much a pound? I bet their farmers market's a lot more affordable than New York. How much a pound was that ahi over there?
That I got from a store. It was like 27 a pound.
All right,
that's
not cheap.
That's good.
I was also when the pandemic first hit. There's like nice like local Greenpoint Fish and Lobster like seafood store a couple blocks. Never been there.
Yeah.
I would never go. I go to Costco. I get salmon for fucking. Now it's actually like super cheap. It's like $6.99 a pound for salmon right now at Costco.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. And so I get my fish there, but then like we weren't back when restaurants were closed. We weren't going out to any restaurants, and it was kind of like aside from grocery shopping, like we wanted to do something different. So I'm like, let's go to this place. I think they like on their Instagram had a sale on something. So anyway, I was like waiting in line, and like normally I'd never shop at this place. And and it's a line outside because again, it's coronavirus. Nobody's going in. And I'm like a few people back, and this like local homeless guy on a skateboard drives by, and he's just like, fucking morons. Paying $30 a pound for a salmon, just like drives by. And normally, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. Normally,
It's true.
I'm with him all the way. But it's like at that point, it wasn't an alternative to salmon I buy at the grocery store because I'm still doing that. It was an alternative to going out to eat because we couldn't go out to eat. So it was like, you know what? We got all our groceries. We're bored with everything here. We can walk 3 blocks and buy a lobster, which is what I did. They actually had lobster on sale. I think that's when we got the lobster. And I bought two lobsters, bought them alive, murdered them on my counter, made a sketch of it. I used them, honestly, super, super worth it. You know, between the food, great. They turned out delicious. And the content, I had a good sketch that did pretty well. Little parody on the kill scene from Reservoir Dogs that I imitated with the lobster. Worked out nicely. Played a little. It was so organic too. I was just gonna kill it, and my wife was just like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Can you?" I'm like, "Alexa, play Steelers Wheel Stuck in the Middle with You," and I just start fucking dancing as I'm killing it.
That's funny.
That is funny. That's a good sketch. Did you already put it out?
I did, but you know what? I don't know if I'm going to have our sketch ready for Monday, so we might need to put a different sketch on the Bushwick Bears YouTube to keep the ball rolling.
Do it. It sounds great. It sounds hilarious.
Yeah, but I have started it, and lots of funny clips of you, Derek. That'll be real good when it does come out.
Oh, yes, it's that one.
This is actually a good idea, too, is to whet people's appetite a little bit if they're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we got like some sketches coming for all the fans of the podcast. Oh, my God. Yeah, we got that other episode was good, too. I got a new haircut. We're doing the goddamn thing, you guys. Look at us. We're on point. Let's anybody, and also if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, hit us up on the Instagram or Twitter or whatever, because we have a list, but we'll get through it. I forgot about the list this time because I'm on vacation.
And it's over Zoom.
Well, I think it was a pretty good episode.
I agree. Good job.
No, I'm just kidding. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely better than nothing, for sure. You know?
Oh, what a standard.
No, I mean, like, I don't mean that as a negative.
That's our new quote, guys. Bushwick Bears, better than nothing.
That should be the episode. That should be the name of this episode.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Remember that.
We got to remember that too, because we really fucked up on the last one.